Have you ever wondered if the world you see is actually real or just an illusion? We are taught from childhood to believe that reality is solid, fixed, and objective. What we see, we are told, is the truth. But what if that's not the case? What if everything you think you know is only the surface, hiding a deeper design underneath? For more than a century, the Kybalion has quietly whispered this hidden knowledge to those who are ready to listen. It does not belong to any religion, nor was it written to impress scholars. Instead, it was created as a guide for seekers, rebels, and truth lovers, those who sense, deep inside, that there must be more to life. The Kybalion reveals 7 timeless principles, simple yet profound, that explain the very structure of existence. From the stars above you to the thoughts within you, these laws shape everything. This isn't just philosophy, it's the blueprint of reality itself, and once you see it, you can never see the world the same way again. What if reality begins not in the outside world, but in the mind itself? The Kybalion teaches that the all is mind. This is not just a metaphor, it is literal. Everything you see, touch, and feel, every star in the sky and every thought in your head, exists within a vast field of consciousness. Your mind is not separate from it, but a drop in the infinite ocean of awareness. We were taught that consciousness is a product of the brain, but what if the brain is only a receiver, translating signals from the universal mind? This flips the way we understand existence. It means your thoughts are not empty chatter, they are the building blocks of your reality. The world does not simply happen to you, it happens through you. When you change your beliefs, your perception shifts. When perception shifts, your experience transforms. Fear becomes a matter of focus, chaos becomes a signal, even pain becomes a teacher. And here lies the secret. If people realized the true creative power of their own minds, they could not be controlled. Systems of politics, economy, and religion thrive on obedience, but sovereignty begins with mentalism. To master your mind is to take the first step in mastering reality itself. As above, so below. As within, so without. This ancient phrase is more than poetry. It is the second Hermetic principle, correspondence. The Kybalion teaches that the universe is built on repeating patterns, mirrored at every scale. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. What happens inside you is echoed in your outer world, and your personal reality is a mirror of your inner state. Most people believe their problems are external. A job, a relationship, money. But correspondence reveals that the true root is internal. If your outer life feels chaotic, it is because an inner chaos remains unacknowledged. If you feel stuck, it is likely your inner vision hasn't shifted in years. You are not cursed or unlucky, you are simply out of alignment. Once you see life through this lens, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this showing me about myself?" Every relationship becomes a mirror, every frustration a signal, every desire a map pointing you back to your inner truth. Healing your inner world naturally transforms your outer world. The system prefers you to keep chasing fixes for symptoms, products, distractions, self-help slogans, without ever questioning the root. But correspondence is a powerful reminder. The root is always you. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. That is not idealism. It is energetic causality. What if opposites are not enemies, but two ends of the same spectrum? The fourth Hermetic principle, polarity, teaches that everything we call opposite is actually one thing, expressed in different degrees. Light and dark are not separate forces, they are variations of the same energy. Love and hate are not different emotions, they are the same frequency vibrating at different levels. The system trains us to see reality in binaries, good or bad, right or wrong, us or them. This keeps us reactive, divided, and easy to manipulate. But polarity reveals a deeper truth. Fear is simply courage that has not remembered its strength, and sadness is the shadow of joy. When we understand this, duality stops being a battlefield and becomes a tool for transformation. Your emotions are the clearest example. Suppressing anger also suppresses drive. Resisting sadness also blocks joy. Every extreme you reject is simply a distorted form of energy waiting to be integrated. By recognizing the spectrum, you can shift your awareness along it, not by force, but by understanding. True mastery of polarity is not choosing one side, but learning to stand in the center, commanding both poles with awareness. In that middle point, you are no longer tossed between extremes. You are sovereign, steady, and free. Have you noticed how life moves like a pendulum, always swinging back and forth? The fifth Hermetic principle, rhythm, teaches that everything flows in cycles. The tides rise and fall, seasons change, the moon waxes and wanes, even your emotions and energy move in patterns. Nothing stays still. Life is always in motion. The problem is that most people misunderstand these rhythms. When they feel high energy, they call it success. When energy dips, they call it failure. But rhythm reveals that both are natural parts of the same movement. It is not punishment, it is flow. When you resist the downswing, you suffer. When you learn to ride the wave, you find balance. Your moods, motivation, and confidence are subject to this law. The pendulum swings between clarity and confusion, energy and exhaustion, joy and sadness. The key is not to cling to the highs or fear the lows, but to find center, to hold steady while the swing continues around you. Society, however, manipulates rhythm. Work, consumerism, and media push you into artificial cycles of stress and relief, production and burnout. But once you recognize the pattern, you stop being a leaf blown by the wind. You start surfing the wave consciously. Rhythm is not your enemy, it is your teacher. And true freedom comes when you no longer fight the pendulum, but move with it. Is life happening to you, or is it happening because of you? The sixth Hermetic principle, cause and effect, declares that nothing in existence is random. Every result has a cause, and every cause inevitably creates an effect. Most people live unconsciously as effects, reacting to circumstances, blaming fate, or waiting for luck. But the Kybalion teaches that true power begins when you shift from effect to cause. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are seeds planted into the field of reality. The harvest you see in your life is simply the echo of those seeds. If you think in fear, you reap limitation. If you act with clarity and intention, you attract alignment. The universe does not deliver what you wish for. It mirrors what you are. Living without awareness makes you programmable, predictable reactions shaped by media, systems, and old patterns. But when you take responsibility, you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What am I choosing to cause next?" That shift is the death of victimhood and the birth of sovereignty. Cause and effect is not blame, it is liberation. It means you are never stuck. Change the cause, and the effect must follow. This principle turns life from a chain of accidents into a canvas for conscious creation. What if creation itself requires the union of two forces within you? The seventh Hermetic principle, gender, does not speak of biological sex, but of universal energies. Everything in existence contains both masculine and feminine principles. The masculine is direction, logic, structure, and outward movement. The feminine is intuition, receptivity, creativity, and inward flow. Together they form the dance of creation. Our culture glorifies the masculine, always act, build, achieve, while suppressing the feminine, intuition, stillness, sensitivity. This imbalance leaves people restless, divided, and incomplete. When masculine energy dominates, life becomes rigid, controlling, and exhausting. When the feminine is wounded, life turns passive, unclear, and dependent. Neither extreme leads to wholeness. True mastery of gender means integration. The masculine provides focus and structure. The feminine gives inspiration and meaning. Every idea you've ever had was born from this union. The feminine spark of vision, brought into form by masculine action. When you balance these forces within, you stop seeking completion outside yourself. You become a whole creator, able to act with power and receive with openness. This principle reminds us, the sun and the moon, fire and water, thought and emotion, both are needed. Wholeness is not in choosing one, but in embodying both. That is when life moves in harmony with its deepest law of creation. What if the greatest secret was never lost, only hidden in plain sight? The Kybalion closes by reminding us that the Hermetic principles were not erased. They were buried under noise, distraction, and false narratives. These laws are alive, quietly shaping reality whether you believe in them or not. The difference lies in awareness. To the unconscious, life looks like chaos, luck, and accidents. To the seeker, life is a field of patterns, rhythms, and causes waiting to be read. This knowledge was kept from the masses not because it failed, but because it worked. Systems of power thrive on people who feel powerless, reactive, and divided. But once you understand these principles, you stop being a victim of reality. You become a co-creator of it. You see through manipulation, you stop reacting blindly, and you reclaim the ability to choose. The Kybalion is not a religion, nor is it dogma. It is a lens, a way of perceiving reality that reveals hidden structure beneath the illusion. To live by these principles doesn't make life easy, but it makes life meaningful. The highs no longer seduce you, the lows no longer destroy you. You find balance, sovereignty, and clarity. The final message is simple yet powerful. The universe has order, consciousness has power, and you are not separate from the all. Once you see the pattern, you can never unsee it. And from that moment on, your journey is no longer about survival. It is about creation. Once you see the pattern, you can never unsee it. The Kybalion closes with a reminder that the Hermetic principles were never meant to be hidden forever. They were simply buried under distraction, noise, and systems that profit from your ignorance. These laws are not abstract philosophy. They are the silent architecture of reality. Whether you acknowledge them or not, they are at work every moment of your life. The final truth is empowering. You are not a passive observer in a meaningless universe. You are a participant, a co-creator. When you understand mentalism, you realize the world begins in your mind. With correspondence, you see that your inner world reflects outward. Vibration shows that your frequency shapes your reality. Polarity teaches you that opposites are tools, not enemies. Rhythm reveals that cycles can be navigated instead of feared. Cause and effect reminds you that you are never a victim, you are always at choice. And gender completes the circle, showing that wholeness comes from integration, not division. The message is simple, yet revolutionary. Reality is structured, consciousness is powerful, and you are not separate from the all. Once this is remembered, life shifts from survival to creation, from confusion to clarity. The seeker's journey is not about escape, but about living awake, sovereign, aligned, and free. If the true laws of reality have been hidden from you all along, are you ready to break free from the illusion? Or will you keep living by rules that were never yours?